I'm not sure about you, but I'm pretty stupid. But sometimes in my stupidity, I come up with a game idea that's so dumb, it actually just might work. Hey, shut up. So, as you may know, a first-person game is one where you see out of the player's eyes, and a third-person game is one where you see out of nobody's eyes. Therefore, a second-person game has to be one where you see out of somebody else's eyes. So my game idea is a second-person co-op puzzle game where you see from the other player's perspective, but still control your own player. That way you have to cooperate with other players through a call or some other way to be able to solve the puzzles, or really yell at them until they do what you expect them to do. Sounds awful? I agree. Let's do it. First problem. I don't know how to do this. I've never made a multiplayer game before, and this one has to be online so that you can't see the other player's screen. So, time to learn.
This was a mistake.
I did eventually get like the most basic of basic tests ever to work. You're just a green bean, you can move around and you see other green beans. Next thing I did was make a free cam that can fly around and an eye model for it in a low poly PlayStation-ish style, since I haven't tried that kind of style before and I really wanted to. The best part to me is the fact that everyone is able to see it, so I can jump out at people who aren't expecting it when they play the game.
Oh, I just got the eyeball jump scare.
And but wait, no, stop. What are you doing? Get away from me. Now, of course, a floating eye jump scare isn't very fun when you don't even have anyone to scare. So next I wrote up a first-person controller and I added the multiplayer synchronizer node to it. What's that do? Makes the multiplayer synchronize, I guess. The eyes have been contained. Oh, is there a smudge on the camera? And speaking of containment, this orange box I put the player in is looking pretty boring. I decided to scribble out this neat looking tiling wall akin to that of a mental asylum, and I also drew a black carpet that you can barely identify because some genius decided to make it nearly completely black. Poor judgment on my part. Then I grabbed my friends and I threw them in the box. Look how happy they are. After that, I did some more visual improvements. You know, I messed with the lighting. Oh, dogs. Shut. Made a door and a button. I also lowered the resolution a lot because I think it looks cooler and it can hide all the imperfections in my art. Then I decided to create this low poly robot thing. Look how cool he is. I also decided to try inverse kinematics on the model, which is like kinematics, but inverted. And then I used that to animate it incredibly poorly because I'm not a very good animator. If both the buttons are pressed, the big door opens and reveals nothing. Wait, one sec. Look at that. I don't know what those are. I think they're like teleporters or something. Then I hibernated for a month. I don't know, I just didn't have that much time to work on this. But eventually I did try to get back into this by streaming some dev work. There's a line of code that does just like print your IP address. Let's not do that. This was supposed to be like a week-long project and then it wasn't. I have to try to make my really bad code work. I have to make in elevate 0. Don't write your code like I'm doing it. This is written like a jam game would be written.
We get it, your code sucks.
It doesn't really seem like I did a lot in the stream, but that was the most work I got done in over a week or two, really. Finally, all I have left to do is make some levels, an intro sequence, and some sort of ending. For the intro, I found a text-to-speech generator. And then I coded this chromatic aberration shader, which is really cool, and I love chromatic aberration. Watch this. The last thing I did was make a few levels, and then the game was done. Now let's watch my friends suffer.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh, the big eyeball.
Alright,
I don't like it.
You're balling? What the? Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
I know
Yeah.
no wanna.
Oh, this is horrible. Oh, this is horrible. Okay,
Stop
I hate
moving, I can't see.
Hey.
This is the worst thing you've ever created.
This is bad. I hate this.
Don't shake your head, it's gonna make me throw up.
You're almost there. You almost had it.
Okay, now we're gonna shuffle
See through
this
the
way,
grimy
alright?
window.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
trying
not
like
gonna do it.
my character looking at you.
Just wait till the window ends.
Bro!
Evil.
Oh my god, okay, I actually hate you, I actually hate you.
Go forward and then right.
A little bit to the right.
Move, left.
Let's go!
Hey.
I see 3 buttons on... No! This is abuse, I can't see anything.
Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm going.
Oh god, coordination.
Go into the,
Oh, this is gonna be bad, dude. No, don't go in, don't go in.
The third button opens the third door. The second button opens the first door.
So I guess the one on the left does the middle. Oh.
Oh, that's evil!
God, you are sick for making this.
Alright.
Ah,
Oh yeah, that's better.
Also, why
button.
did you just add yourself as an eyeball? Like, why did you want to do that?
I thought it was funny.
It's just you, me, and this giant floating eyeball here.
No, walk forward, walk forward.
Alright.
Alright, go right. Go right. No.
Oh no, I'm lost. I don't know where I am, dude.
And forward.
We
Oh.
did it. Can you stop
Let's
looking at the
go.
wall?
Okay, I'm sorry, dude.
Oh,
I can't think of any more level ideas right now.
Pretend this is
The coolest thing you've ever
See.
Oh my god, that was so cool.
I love this thing.
This
This is my favorite thing ever.
This is crazy.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Holy
shit. Look at that guy.
Whoa! Oh my goodness!
Oh my
This
gosh!
is awesome.
Dude,
Look at that.
I
look at that
did
smiley
not
face on the
expect
wall.
this. Guys, I think you need
you.
to subscribe to PossiblyAxolotl right this
I
second.
think you
The
should
eye
grab
is
a
holding me
subscriber story.
hostage.